There's been a fan uproar about a clip that was released from the new Superman movie. We got a 37-second clip released from Jimmy Kimmel that I will have in the description linked if you want to watch it, because I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm not going to play it on screen, but you can watch it. A lot of people are upset because in it, Superman is very mad. He's confronting Lex. He's yelling. He's breaking things. And you have a lot of people. I don't mean just like one or two or like a handful of people. A lot of people were very mad about this and think that Superman's out of character and he'd never act like this and he should always be stoic and he shouldn't really show any emotion and he never gets angry. And to these people, I'm thinking, have you ever read a Superman comic? This is in line with Superman, what I know about Superman. Superman's my favorite character in all of fiction. I've read a lot of Superman comics, and this is in line with them. Also, it's a 37-second clip. It's not even the whole scene. Like, it cuts off in the middle of the scene. And I just don't get people getting mad about this because there's precedent for it in the comics, but also, even if you're not taking from the comics, just looking at the scene and how it plays out, everything adds up. Superman comes in, he breaks through the door, he scares one guy a lot by doing that, he scares Lex's girlfriend who's there, who's very, like, scared, and he destroys a desk, and he starts yelling at Lex, and then, in the middle of yelling, you see him sort of gather his thoughts and his surroundings, and he looks, he sees the woman that's terrified, he sees the destroyed desk, and you see him like kind of calm down a bit and realize what he's just done and realize that his emotions got the better of him, and he starts to calm down. It's like, okay, that's very human. That's very human. Like, you do something, you get very pissed off, you get very mad, and then a second later you're like, oh, kind of let my emotions get the best of me. And that's Superman. Superman is very human. He's the best of us, but he's human. He's not some strange alien who doesn't have emotions and doesn't act on them or anything. So I thought this was great. Also, Lex is so good in the scene. That's honestly what I'm most excited for about this movie from everything I've seen is Nicholas Holt's Lex, how he's talked about the character and his inspirations for the character and the comics and everything. It's got me so excited because he's the one person I've seen that when asked about his portrayal of Lex Luthor, he's like, oh, I just took inspiration from the comics. Almost every other time you ask like a director, writer, or actor about their portrayal of the character, they're like, well, I want to do something new that's never been done before. I have my own new take. I have my own. No one ever's like, yeah, I'm just doing straight up the comics. That's what Nicholas Hoult has said. It's like, oh my goodness, yes.
I wasn't going in trying to do something particularly different or similar to what people had done before. I was just trying to be truthful to what I felt connected from the comics and those source materials to this script and this story, I think. Yeah, it wasn't a conscious decision to try and do something different.
And he's great in this because in the middle of, he's just rage baiting Superman the whole time. When Superman's like, you took Krypto, what's going on? You know, where is he? Lex is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Then under his breath, he sips and he's like, stupid dog in a cape. And Superman's like, just so taken aback by it. This is also something that people watching this couldn't use their brain and decipher because Superman goes, what? When he says that. And people are like, oh, he's super hearing. He couldn't hear Lex. No, that wasn't a what as in I can't hear. That was a what. That is a like, I can't believe you just said that type thing. That's what that is. That's like when, you know, when you're a little kid and you say something to your parents that you shouldn't have said and they're like, what? Like, what did you just say? You know your parents said it. I mean, your parents know you said it, but they're not saying what because they didn't hear you. It's a different kind of what. That's exactly what this is. So all the people being like, he has superhero. How could it? It's like, use your brains. Superman obviously heard him. That's not what's going on. But beyond all that, also, in the trailers, Lex breaks into the Fortress of Solitude. Looks like he destroys a good chunk of it, destroys a bunch of robots, fights Krypto. I'm assuming that's when he kidnaps Krypto. We don't know, you know, the sequence of events. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that's when he kidnaps Krypto. So not only did he kidnap Krypto, but Superman's got a whole lot of things going on this day. We don't know what has happened prior to this. Not only was his dog kidnapped, his home was destroyed. His robots were destroyed, which it seems he has banters with and is friendly with his robots. He could have been fighting kaijus prior to this. He could have gotten his ass kicked by the Hammer of Barivia that we've seen in the trailers. We don't know. Superman, it seems, has a lot on his plate and has gone through a ton so far. So it's not just like, oh, he just got upset at some little thing. Because I will say, in media, there is sometimes depictions of Superman where he just get too angry for no reason. I found that in like Superman the Animated Series and sometimes the Justice League show where it felt like Superman would kind of just start throwing haymakers for no reason and get a little too angry too fast. I was like, that's not really in character because Superman is human. He will get mad. His emotions will get the better of him sometimes, but he's not like super quick to anger. He's not just like instantly, it's like, all right, time to just go level a city. He's not like that. Like, but this doesn't seem like that. It seems like there's reason for it. It seems like he's been going through a lot. Seems like, at least that's the vibe I get from him. But not only that, there's precedent in the comics, like I was saying earlier. So I'll give some examples. First up, the best example was in Man of Steel, and not the movie, Superman the Man of Steel from John Byrne, in that it plays out almost exactly like this scene where Lex is sitting in his office and Superman goes and confronts him because Lana Lang, his childhood best friend, was captured and tortured for information about Superman. His parents, then, he believes, have been kidnapped because he can't find them. And Lana's like, whoever got me probably got your parents. So he is pissed off. He goes into Lex's office. He starts yelling at him. He breaks through the door. And Lex is the whole time like, I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on? And then when they're completely alone, Lex is like, yeah, I did all that shit. That was me, but no one will ever know. And if you don't get out of here, I'm going to call the cops. He also weakens him with kryptonite. He's like, I could kill you right now, but I don't want to. This is also the same issue where Lex builds a supercomputer that determines that Superman and Clark Kent are one and the same. And Lex is like, only a stupid, cold, soulless machine would think that. No way Superman would lower himself to us. No one with that power would be someone so feeble like Clark Kent. It's a very funny issue. It's a really good issue, too, and I kind of like that. I'm not the biggest fan of John Byrne's Lex, to be honest, but that issue, I liked how Lex was handled. But that's just one instance, and that's one that is very similar to what we see here in this clip because him breaking his office and yelling at Lex. Also in the Emperor Joker storyline, there's a moment where Superman is just talking to Supergirl and Superboy, and then they get boom tubed out of there, and Ignition is right there, and Superman's like, Ignition, if they're dead, so are you. Just instantly goes to, I'm going to kill you if you kill them. It's like, yeah, he gets a little angry. Probably didn't really mean that, but he gets very angry sometimes. And then All-Star Superman, you have which two of the biggest inspirations for this movie that James Gunn has mentioned is All-Star Superman and Superman Birthright. In All-Star, you have a moment where when Clark is visiting Lex in prison, he just gets so confused by what he's doing and so mad that he starts yelling at him. That point where Lex is talking about how he's going to go to the electric chair satisfied because he knows he's overloaded Superman with solar radiation and Superman's going to die from it. And he's just like, I'm fulfilled. And Clark is so mad about this. He's like, you and Superman could be friends, but now you're both going to die. This is so stupid. And he starts yelling at him. That's a big inspiration for this movie. James Gunn said it so himself. So you can see how that could inspire moments like this in the movie. You also got Superman Birthright, where Superman is again yelling at Lex. If you haven't noticed, there's kind of a pattern of the person that he yells at a lot. It's mainly Lex. Lex is the guy that's good at getting under his skin. There's a reason he's his number one nemesis. So in Birthright, you have the moment where he's confronting them about kryptonite and Krypton, and he just almost crushes his windpipe as he's talking to him. He's so mad and slamming him around. So there's a lot of instances of Superman getting angry or yelling and getting violent. But in all of them, well, not every single instance, but in the ones I've mentioned here are handled pretty well. And I haven't seen anything from these trailers or clips to get me mad about that. I don't know if the movie's going to be good. It could be bad. I think it's going to be good. I'm excited for it. I think the Superman stuff and the Lex stuff is going to be good. That's what I'm excited about. It's other things surrounding the movie that I'm not so sure on. Like the Justice Gang, some of that seems maybe a little too James Gunny in terms of how the comedy is and how funny everyone is going to be acting as part of the Justice Gang. I'm not the biggest fan of how Lois already knows Clark's secret identity, that Clark and Superman are the same person. I don't like that because that ruins a lot of potential storytelling, and it also could potentially have Lois coming off a shallow because she likes Clark because he's Superman. Not the biggest fan of that. That's been done a lot before. I don't really care for it. I prefer it like in the comics when she got engaged to Clark when she only knew him as Clark, not as Superman. So there are things with this movie that I'm worried about, but I do think the Superman and Lex stuff looks really solid, and I'm excited for it. I already got my tickets to see it. I'm going to see it on the 8th. I'm so excited. I'll have my review out the next day on the 9th. I cannot wait. I hope it's good. Again, Superman is my favorite character in fiction. I want this movie to be good, but seeing people get mad about this makes no sense. I'm a gigantic Superman fan. If there was something bad here, I would say it, but I don't see anything about this that gets me upset. There's nothing here where I'm like, this is bad. I think the scene's good. I like a villain that can get under a hero's skin. I like that Lex looks competent. Lex looks good, because that's something with a lot of the times with the animated series that I didn't care about with Lex. Clancy Brown, amazing, but they would have him get angry too much. He was almost never the calm, cool, collected Lex. It was always almost always him just yelling and getting mad and being angry. It's like, that's not how I know Lex. Lex isn't always like that, to where in the animated series, it felt like a lot of the time Lex was just like yelling. It's like, that's no Lex I know, to where here, I like this. I like that he's the one getting under Superman's skin. He's the one being like cool and everything. I like that. So I thought this looked good. I thought this got me more excited for the movie. I can't wait. Who knows if it'll be good or not? We'll see. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What do you think of this clip? Did it get you more excited? Did it not? Were you mad about this clip? Do you agree with the people that are saying that this is never how Superman should act? Or do you think this was fine? I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see y'all later.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.